that we could discuss and go over and really talk about how CBD can assist with a lot of those symptoms that someone may be looking for a holistic, organic, natural product to use to address. So this entire month of July, we will be talking about the clinical endocannabinoid deficiency. I know that's a really big word, but we're going to just review some of the things that we talked about last week for all of you on the line that may not have been here with us last Wednesday. So the endocannabinoid system is the way that our body processes and uses CBD. It is how cannabis works in the body. When you think about when you have a headache, right? And you take Tylenol, or maybe you take Motrin, or maybe you take Excedrin, there are receptors in the body that senses the pain, and it sends a messenger, a neurotransmitter, a little chemical messenger to the brain, to the pain sensory receptors, and that Tylenol or that Motrin or that Excedrin will stop the pain. The same thing happens with cannabis. When there's inflammation, when there's stress, when there's anxiety, where there's insomnia, the body, when it sees CBD, there are receptors throughout our entire body within this endocannabinoid system that regulates and modulates different responses like memory, like mood, like appetite, like fertility, pregnancy. Yes, those women who have multiple miscarriages, there's a lot of studies that show is because their body is deficient in compounds just like the cannabis plant makes. So it's really fascinating when you think about how drugs work in our body. It's the same concept on how the endocannabinoid system works in our body. So these receptors are found everywhere. When I tell you everywhere, receptors are found in the brain, the lungs, the vascular system, the muscles, the GI tract, the reproductive organs like the ovaries and the uterus and the tubes and the testes. It's found in our immune system, in the liver, in the bone marrow, in the pancreas, in the spleen, in the bones, in the skin, in the immune system, in the liver, in the bone marrow, the pancreas. We have receptors throughout our entire body, every organ and every gland. So when we look at the plant, we know that the plant, the cannabis plant, makes over 100 or more compounds. And those compounds are called cannabinoids. So guess what? Our body produces cannabinoids too. In fact, the cannabinoids that our body makes mimic the cannabinoids that the plant makes. So we have THC, that's the part of the plant or the compound that comes from the plant that gives us that high, that gives us that euphoria, that gives us that paranoia, right? That's called THC, or delta 9 tetrahydrocannabinol. And then there's CBD, and that's what we're going to concentrate on tonight. CBD, or cannabidiol, is the chemical that the plant makes, the cannabis plant makes, that is non-intoxicating. It doesn't give you a high. It doesn't give you a euphoria, but what it does, it reduces inflammation. It makes you feel calm. It helps you sleep. It gives you energy. It helps to relieve nausea and vomiting. It helps to relieve muscle spasms. So it is the body, when it produces cannabinoids, they're called endogenous cannabinoids. So our body produces anandamide. Our body produces 2-AG. And these are naturally occurring chemicals that our body produces. In fact, anandamide is from a Sanskrit word, ananda. and it means bliss, it means joy, it means delight. In fact, it's analogous and mimics THC. It's found in breast milk. It's found in dark chocolate. It's found in beer hops. It is an essential omega-6 fatty acid. And guess what? It's a neurotransmitter. That is a little chemical that sends messages to the brain when it needs help. So anandamide. And then 2-AG. 2-AG is actually the most abundant cannabinoid that our body produces. And I'm really glad that it's the most abundant because it is very important in a lot of different things. See, anandamide just makes us feel happy and blissful. But 2-AG, oh, it's important in appetite. It's important in modulating and regulating our immune system. It's important in pain management. How many of you on this line have pain? It is important in modulating and regulating our circulatory system, so our blood pressure, our pulse rate. It's also very important in suppressing seizures. You may know someone that has a seizure disorder, and it is more abundantly found in breast milk than anandamide. So even if you are adamantly opposed to cannabis, guess what? Your body is producing some of the same type of chemicals that the cannabis plant makes endogenously in breast milk. It's called 2-AG and anandamide. So all those breastfeeding moms are nourishing their babies with endocannabinoids. So now let's look at the receptors. So the endocannabinoid system is made up of receptors that are looking for anandamide, that are looking for 2-AG. These receptors we talked about, they're throughout your entire body. You can see from the brain to the toes, we have receptors. And when our body becomes deficient, when our body doesn't produce enough anandamide, or our body doesn't produce enough 2-AG, then the body needs CBD. That's why everybody needs CBD. Why? Everybody needs CBD because our endocannabinoids become deficient because of environmental stresses. Environmental stresses like the air, the water, the food we're eating, the stress we're under, the sleep deprivation that we endure. All of these external environmental stressors on our body causes those endogenous cannabinoids to be deficient. So these receptors can't send a signal to that right knee that's hurting Dr. Rita. That receptor can't feed the brain those pathways like dopamine and serotonin to help Dr. Rita become calm after she delivers a 10-pound baby that has a cerebral palsy because of lack of oxygen. We couldn't get to that C-section fast enough. So we all need at some time or another these endocannabinoids to always be working at its 100%. But we know that's not possible. So that's why CBD is needed, because these endocannabinoids become deficient. And Dr. Ethan Russo discovered the clinical endocannabinoid deficiency in 2003. He noticed that their little neurotransmitter, these little chemical transmitters, were deficient. And he first found it in serotonin pathways that improve our mood, improve our sleep. That those who are depressed, who have a deficiency in serotonin, he found also had a deficiency in anandamide. So when you replace the endocannabinoid system with analogous compounds that the plant makes, that the body is not making, then that's when we see such improvement in folks who have this deficiency. So Dr. Ethan Russo will be on with us at the end of July. He's going to be our special guest. You're not going to want to miss that. I think that's Wednesday, July 29th. Absolutely amazing research that he has done. So what causes the clinical endocannabinoid deficiency? Why do we all need cannabinoids, right? It's almost like that commercial, Got Milk, right? They used to teach us we all needed milk, we all needed dairy. Well, we absolutely all need cannabinoids. Again, because the body doesn't properly function, it's not properly in balance, it's not in homeostasis. When these cannabinoids are deficient, then our body starts to break down. It starts to increase in inflammation. It causes pain. It causes anxiety. It causes migraine headaches. And it causes something that we're going to be talking about tonight, which is fibromyalgia. So some of the symptoms that one may have that has clinical endocannabinoid deficiency, and you may be on the webinar and you struggle with some of these things. One is insomnia. Insomnia to a point where you're taking medication, you're taking Ambien or Restorol. Anxiety, conditions associated with heightened inflammation throughout the body, like arthritis. Anger management issues. You just can't get your mood under control, right? Because you're so deficient in those anandamides. Depression, bone loss, chronic pain, dementia-like symptoms, and even a family history of cancer. All of these symptoms can pinpoint a clinical endocannabinoid deficiency. So there are many, many more diseases that Dr. Ethan Russo has identified, but the one that we're going to talk about tonight is fibromyalgia. We're going to talk about a lot of these different clinical diseases throughout the entire month, but we haven't talked about fibromyalgia. And fibromyalgia really is a quite debilitating disease. It affects 2 to 4% of people, women more than men. I mean, as an obstetrician gynecologist, I treat a lot of women who have fibromyalgia. And what's interesting is that it's not an autoimmune or inflammation-based illness. It's really a nervous system disease. There's no test to detect this disease. Many times, if you finally get the diagnosis, you're called a hypochondriac, you're crazy. Maybe you get a psych consultation, because a lot of physicians just can't believe that one person can have this much pain. And unfortunately, there's no cure. But what's interesting is that patients do see improvement with mindfulness meditation, with proper self-care, with exercise, getting enough sleep, improving your diet. All of these things you'll find out is what makes CBD magical when you put them all together. So some of the symptoms: pain, and more pain. The pain is typically chronic, it's diffuse, it's sharp and even severe. It occurs at night. Many of these patients, I had a patient could not get up from her couch for 6 months. Whole body fatigue, malaise, just feeling tired, a lot of muscle tenderness, constipation, nausea, passing a lot of gas, anxiety, mood swings, nervousness, forgetfulness, and lack of concentration. This disease affects every single organ. Pins and needles, sensitivity to pain, coldness, tingling in the hands, difficulty falling asleep. Also common is depression, fibromyalgia flares, headache, irritability, joint stiffness, painful menstruation, sensitivity to cold or tingling feet. How debilitating is this? Just think, if you're on this webinar like myself, I'm relatively healthy, I'm not on any medications. Just imagine a person that suffers from this each and every day. And that's why it's important to understand why those who use CBD and have fibromyalgia have such resolution of these symptoms. Why? Because there's receptors in every single organ and gland that's being affected that needs CBD to fulfill that deficiency. So again, fibromyalgia is part of the clinical endocannabinoid deficiency syndrome. Why? Because it is so hard to come up with a treatment option. Again, these sufferers have endured the stigma of being crazy, psychosomatic labeling. Um, Many medications don't even work. They have a high pain threshold. They have a lot of sensitivities and tingling. And so this is why fibromyalgia is one of the clinical endocannabinoid deficiencies. So some of the medications that these patients are on are SSRIs. Those are medications that we use for depression. They're on a lot of opioids, a lot of analgesics. Some of them are on non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, which kill the kidney long term. A lot of them are on gabapentin, which is a nerve pain medication. I've not met many folks that get relief from gabapentin, and many of them are on muscle relaxants. We do know that when you have a clinical endocannabinoid deficiency syndrome or disease, that foods can actually help enhance your endocannabinoid system. We're going to talk about CBD, but there are foods that you can actually eat and utilize that will help and benefit those. And those are chocolate. We talked about how anandamide is found in dark chocolate. Essential fatty acids. Why essential fatty acids? Well, the components of the cannabis plant are full of essential fatty acids. So we find folks who are deficient in essential fatty acids have issues as well. Hemp seeds, hemp oil, flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, sardines, anchovies, and eggs, pasture fed or omega 3 enriched only. So, those are just some of the endocannabinoid enhancing foods. And then there's other ways that you can stimulate your endocannabinoid system, and that's through exercise, yoga, prayer, carefulings, which are terpenes, which are part of many full spectrum CBD products. Of course, CBD, which we're going to talk about, in mindfulness meditation. And I'm really excited to talk about mindfulness meditation because a lot of people don't understand that the science that has been buried in so many chronic illnesses that have proven that mindfulness meditation improves severe chronic diseases like fibromyalgia. I mean, just look at if if you're on the webinar and you've had a child, look at the fact that Lamaze, just breathing techniques with pregnant moms who are in active labor is much more effective than epidurals and pain medications. The same holds true for chronic illnesses. And this study shows that when they use mindfulness meditation for patients who have fibromyalgia, that it improves their symptoms, that they didn't need as many medications, that it decreased their anxiety, it decreased their pain, just with helping them with breathing techniques, with focusing techniques. You combine that with diet, you combine that with any medications that they're on and exercise. And of course, what we're going to talk about, combining that with CBD, it becomes very magical. So this is a real science that has been used with cancer patients. It's been used with chronic, severe, debilitating diseases, mindfulness meditation. So we're going to move into now how our products work, how our products can be effective in those who have clinical endocannabinoid deficiency syndrome. And again, I represent the health pillar of Wakana, and our product line is so amazing because our products work. Our product line we have on the left is our power line, and our power line truly is the staple product of our company. Our product line uses organic cannabis. Our farms are sourced in the US, Oregon, Kentucky, and Colorado. And our full spectrum product, which is extracted from the hemp species, contains the legal limit of THC, which is 0.3% or less. So our power products are our full spectrum products, contains all of the cannabinoids like CBD and CBN and CBG, as well as the legal limit of THC, includes the terpenes, the flavonoids, and the essential oils. And then our pure line is our broad spectrum line. Those are the products on the right side. Those are products that contain less than 0.0% of THC. That is the product line that you're going to use if you have random drug screens at your job. So those are pure broad spectrum products. So a little bit about our company. Well, I always say it's more than a company. It truly is a movement. Wakana is the name of our company, and our whole vision is that we exist to help in the negative stigma. When you use the word cannabis, many times the first thing that comes to a lot of our minds, that came to my mind 3 years ago, was getting high, right? And so our whole vision is to end the negative stigma about this plant, to help our communities around the world that have suffered out, and they've lost out on the health and the wealth benefits of this plant. Our mission is that we are a catalyst. You know, many of you on the line may be interested in getting in the cannabis industry. So we want to help those to find their niche. Maybe they want to be an entrepreneur. Maybe they want to be a customer, a formulator, an investor, really stirring and evoking the courage and strength for people to take back their health, wealth, legacy, and freedom. And then I want you to meet the 4 co-founders of Wakana. I think it's important that you understand that our visionary, Melissa Boston, is our CEO. She brings to us over 29 years of experience in the direct sale industry, 15 years or more in corporate America. In fact, she fired her boss at the age of 32 and a half years old. She's our visionary. She is a social media strategist. She's built businesses in over 40 countries. She's trained over 50,000 distributors. She truly is the vision behind Wakana. And then our president, Dr. Patricia Van Pelt, is a state senator serving her 3rd term here in Illinois. She's an entrepreneur and an evangelist as well. And then our fabulous Phyllis Nash is our senior VP of sales. She brings to us over 30 years experience, not only in the liquor industry, but real estate and the restaurant industry. And then myself, Dr. Rita McGuire, I'm the Chief Medical Officer. I bring to you over 30 years of experience as an obstetrician gynecologist. But it's important to know that all 4 of us have been in this cannabis space for the last 3 years. So we are experts, we are pioneers, really leading the charge in the cannabis industry. So let's again look at the plant cannabis. And this is really important that you understand that the cannabis plant has 2 species. One species is the marijuana species. That's the one that gets us high. It has high levels of the THC, the psychoactive component. And then there's hemp. Hemp is the species that gives us the health without the high. It contains trace amounts of THC, by definition 0.3% or less, and higher levels of CBD or cannabidiol, the part of the plant that is non-psychoactive. So again, CBD can come from either marijuana or it can come from hemp, but we are going to talk about the CBD that comes from the hemp plant. In fact, I've been using CBD in my practice for the last 3 years, and I use it in conjunction with other formal pharmaceutical methods of treating my patients. So when we look at the legality of CBD, in 2018, the Farm Bill was passed, and this is what makes CBD extracted from hemp legal. It was removed from the Controlled Substance Act, and no longer is hemp deemed illegal. In fact, on a federal level, it is legal in all 50 states. So that's what makes our product legal. It is extracted from the hemp plant. It contains less than 0.3% of THC. It will not get you high, but it will address the health benefits without the high. So when we look at a full spectrum product, we understand that there's certain cannabinoids that really make a difference on a cellular level that really helps to bring relief to so many patients and customers and friends and family members that are looking for a holistic, natural, organic way of addressing their health. But when we look at the wheel, we look at CBD, it truly is the main cannabinoid. CBG, CBC, Delta 9 THC, Delta 8 THC, they all have medicinal properties, but it's really the CBD that is the hero. In fact, there are over 20,000 peer review articles about CBD and its medicinal benefits. In fact, tonight, when you get off this webinar, you can use your favorite search engine, whatever it is, maybe it's Google, and you can put in CBD and whatever you want to know about CBD. And you will see thousands and thousands of peer review articles as it relates to the benefits of CBD. So CBD has been shown in research and many, many years of data that it relieves pain, that it relieves anxiety, that it reduces inflammation. And I'm telling you, those are the top three symptoms that those who suffer from fibromyalgia deal with on a daily basis: pain, anxiety, and inflammation. CBD also relieves psychosis. It stimulates the appetite. It reduces nausea, it reduces seizures and convulsions. It prevents nervous system degeneration. It suppresses muscle spasm. It also manages blood sugar. It treats psoriasis and eczema and acne and other skin disorders. It inhibits cancer cell growth. It inhibits cancer cells from metastasizing. It helps to reduce the risk of arterial blockage. It increases bone growth. It kills or slows bacterial growth. And again, CBD does that through the endocannabinoid system. That's why those who have a clinical endocannabinoid deficiency, why they respond so quickly when you give them CBD. So again, this system is deemed the most vital regulatory system in our body. This is a system that we're feeding those cannabinoids that our body is just unable to produce. So our products are products you can trust. You can imagine what happened in 2018 when that farm bill was passed, right? We saw CBD companies popping up in garages, in backyards, in basements. We see CBD products at gas stations, at video stores, at smoke shops. But those products are not products you can trust. Why? Because those products are not tested. Those products are produced on the black market. We provide some of the most rich medicinal hemp that's fully compliant with the State Department of Agriculture regulations. Our products are organically grown. Our products are industrial hemp registered, and our products are farm bill compliant. What that means is that our products have to be sourced from industrial hemp. We also have certificates of analysis on every single product. This is critical in this industry to ensure that what we have labeled on that bottle is what's actually in the bottle. So our third party validation comes from an ISO laboratory that identifies the potency of our products. So let's talk about some of our products. We won't talk about all of our products, but we'll talk about some of them. Our star is truly our Hempranium 500. Our Hempranium 500 milligrams is a tincture. It is a oil that you place underneath the tongue. And when you use CBD oil, in order for it to have its maximal absorption, it's important to let it hold it under the tongue for 60 seconds before you swallow. That way, the oil can get immediately into the bloodstream without having to go through the digestive system. So if you put the oil in your mouth and you swallow it, well, it's going to take longer to work because now it hasn't been absorbed. It's got to go through the stomach, it's got to go through the liver, then it gets to the bloodstream. So it's really important to hold the oil underneath the tongue for 60 seconds before you swallow so it can be absorbed in the mucosal membranes and get to the bloodstream very quickly. We also have a proprietary formula where we've enhanced our CBD with black seed, with turmeric, with peppermint. These are USDA organic essential oils that we've enhanced the CBD's anti-inflammatory properties so that on a cellular level, those who suffer from fibromyalgia can get more relief of their symptoms that they have of chronic pain, their symptoms of anxiety, their symptoms of insomnia, their symptoms of fatigue. You may ask, well, Dr. Rita, how does CBD know to give someone who has fibromyalgia, who has chronic fatigue, energy, but also give them sleep when they're trying to go to sleep? That is what is so magical about the endocannabinoid system. This system actually knows exactly what the body needs. It knows exactly which receptors and which pathways in the brain is needed at different times. So we always start low and slow. Whenever you're introducing CBD into your system, you want to start low and slow. Why? Well, if you take too much CBD, then you may have one of the minor side effects of taking too much CBD. We absolutely want you to have a good experience. We don't want you to feel lethargic if you take too much CBD. We don't want you to feel a little nauseated if you take too much CBD. So start low and start slow. 3 drops in the morning, 3 drops in the evening is a great starting point. If you need to increase, you can increase that to 8 drops twice a day. Maximum dose is 15 drops a day. And what's really interesting is that the Mayo Clinic did a study, and they did a study and they looked at people who have severe chronic pain. And guess what they found? They found that folks who have severe chronic pain really don't need that much CBD. They need between 2.5 and maybe 50 milligrams of CBD on a daily dose. Now, some people will need less, some people will need more. It depends on your diet, it depends on your sleep habits, it depends if you do mindfulness meditation, if you do yoga and breathing and exercising. It depends on a lot of things. So start low and start slow. And then we have amazing topical products. This topical liquid relief, or Dr. Rita's rub, is a great product for those who have fibromyalgia and suffer from symptoms of joint pain, muscle pain, tingling, numbness. This is a great product that they're going to use and apply it in those areas that's causing discomfort. This particular product is 200 milligrams of CBD in a 15 ml bottle, along with 19 to 20 USDA organic certified essential oils. Why did we do that? Well, we know that essential oils have anti-inflammatory properties. So again, the essential oils are enhancing the benefits of CBD. Now, whenever you're using a topical, it's really important to do a test dose on your skin. Some people are sensitive to certain essential oils, so you want to always use a test dose on a small area before you use the 1 to 2 drops in the area that's causing pain, inflammation, and swelling. This is a product, again, that is liquid. It is not to be used or ingested internally, but an amazing product to use topically. And then our Diamond Life pre-rolls. These are our top 3 sellers, I'm telling you. This is a CBD joint. It's a CBD cigarette, but it will not get you high. This is a product that you want to have around for those acute onset of pain, of inflammation. You know, fibromyalgia folks have flares just like lupus, just like flares at people who may have gout. This is a product that's going to address that acute pain crisis. 1 to 3 pulls on this CBD joint is all you need so that it can quickly start acting within 1 to 5 minutes. So I always love to have an acute acting, fast acting product when you're dealing with any disease entity that is in the clinical endocannabinoid deficiency. Again, please don't smoke the entire thing. It's 106 milligrams of CBD. No one needs that much CBD in one sitting. It will make you nauseated. It may make you a little drowsy, maybe a headache. We want you to have a good experience. More is not better. You know, I can't stress that enough. More is not better. You can always take more if you need it. But if you take too much at the beginning, you will not be a happy camper. And then our gummies. Oh my goodness. Our gummies, again, are another way to get CBD into the system. Gummies take about 30 to 90 minutes to work. So that's why I like combining all of our products. You have a product that's working when one is wearing off. So the gummies are great to take for nighttime, not only to help you sleep, but to address pain and inflammation while you're sleeping. So each gummy is 25 milligrams of CBD. Our gummies are vegan, they're non GMO. Our vegans are infused, they are not coated. What does infused mean? The infused means that the cannabis is throughout the entire gummy, not just on the outside. What happens when they're infused? Well, they're much more potent. So if you are new to CBD, you do not want to take one whole gummy initially. You want to first take a half, and then after 60 minutes, if you feel that you are not getting the desired result, then you eat the other half. Trust me, our new power gummies are potent. You want to use 1/2 of a gummy initially. So our gummies come in a 20 count package, and they come in a 4 count package as well. Our gummies come in our broad spectrum, just like our tinctures. Our tinctures, we have a full spectrum and we have a broad spectrum tincture for those who have random drug screens. Now, our newest broad spectrum gummy is 20 milligrams of CBD. Yes, I still have not changed my slides yet, but just know that our new broad spectrum gummies are 20, not 40 milligrams of CBD. They are amazing. They're infused, they're vegan, they're non GMO. Again, this is a gummy for those who have random drug screens at their job. If you don't have random drug screens, then you want to use our power products. This also comes in now a 5 count pack. So you're getting 20 milligrams, 5 of them. So that would be 100 milligrams in that package. So the endocannabinoid deficiency is really real. You know, when you meet Dr. Ethan Russo on July 29th, he will really validate the fact that when you take folks that have an endocannabinoid deficiency, folks that have migraines, fibromyalgia, inflammatory bowel disease, depression, um, hyperemesis gravidaria. When you look at all of these disease entities and you give them CBD, many of them respond pretty quickly. Pretty quickly could be a day, pretty quickly could be a week, pretty quickly could be a month. You know, personally, I have a patient who had fibromyalgia. She couldn't comb her daughter's hair. She couldn't lift her arms up. She couldn't even get off of the sofa because of the fatigue. She was out of work for 6 months. I introduced her to CBD, and I'm telling you, within 4 weeks, she was back at work. So the response is different. Not everyone is going to respond within an hour. Not everyone is going to respond within a month. It depends on your diet. It depends on your body weight. It depends on the severity of the illness or the disease. It depends on the length of time that you've had this disorder. It depends on your weight. So a lot of factors go into play, but just know there's a lot of research and data that confirm that the clinical endocannabinoid deficiency is real and we can help so many folks. Again, your diet will change the trajectory of your life. If you're eating fried food, processed food, fast food, if you're constantly eating poorly, well, it's going to take a little longer for that CBD to really become effective. So we want to help you with that as well. If you're sedentary, if you are not exercising, if you're not breathing, if you're not using mindfulness meditation, if you're not helping those endocannabinoids to get stirred up, then that is something you're going to want to do. So I do want to again open up our weight loss management Facebook coaching page. I will be opening up coaching, free coaching to anyone on this webinar that is referred to Wakana and is on our products. We understand that it's the whole synergy that makes it magical, with diet, with exercise, with balance, with sleep, with hydration, with CBD. When you combine all of that together, that's what becomes magical. That's when we take on a holistic approach to our health where CBD can be maximized in our system. And then I want to invite each and every one of you tomorrow night. If you're on the webinar tonight, you want to hear more about the business, you want to hear more about our company, you're going to want to tune in at 8 p.m. tomorrow, Central Standard Time, with Minister Mooney for an overview. And then this weekend, we want you to join us as well. On July 10th is National Oil and Dab Day. July 10th, we will party. That is free. July 11th, we have a whole conference, which is virtual. A lot of teaching, a lot of educating, a lot of experts in the healthcare field will be presenting. You don't want to miss our July 10th virtual conference. I'm going to take questions right now. You're going to put those questions in the chat box, but you want to make sure that you get plugged in with all of our conferences, all of our webinars, all of our calls. You want to make sure that you contact the person that invited you on the call so you can get plugged in. So I'm going to take some questions right now. You can put those questions in the chat box. You can put questions in the Q&A box. How does your products compare to other CBD oils? Well, our products are very, very unique and very, very different. Why? Because we have proprietary formulation on our CBD oils. We use a lot of essential oils to help enhance our CBD oils. Our products are double certified, third party validated. All of our products have certificates of analysis. And in combination with our amazing CBD products, we offer a lot of education. We offer education almost every night of the week and really helping our customers, our business partners to really understand the science behind CBD. CBD oil is not a snake oil. It's not a magical potion. There's real science behind how our body uses all of the constituents from the hemp plant to put it back into balance. So we are really very unique here in the marketplace. Excellent presentation. I learned so much. Are tickets still available? Yes, tickets are still available for our 710 conference. General admission tickets are only available. Our VIPs are all sold out, but whoever invited you on this line, please contact them and they can get those tickets for you. General admission. Which product should you use if you have fibromyalgia? So, if you have fibromyalgia, I highly recommend our Hempranium 500. That's our tincture. I highly recommend our Dr. Rita's rub. That's our topical pain relief. I highly recommend our CBD diamond pre-roll, our CBD joint, and our gummies. Those are 4 products that absolutely I would recommend for anyone that suffers from fibromyalgia. Can a person with COPD use the Essential Defense nasal spray? Someone with COPD absolutely can use the Defense nasal spray. Our Defense nasal spray has CBD along with essential oils. I would also recommend anyone with COPD to use our Hempranium MD. Our Hempranium MD is our most potent product. It's 750 milligrams in 15 ml bottle. I've had great results with one of our business partners that has COPD with our Hempranium MD. So combining Hempranium MD along with that nasal defense spray that has a CBD that can help to open up the passages in the nose, in the nasal pharynx, and in the lungs would be really good. Our pre-roll stronger than vape cartridges. So the pre-roll is more bioavailable actually than the cartridge. I wouldn't say that it's stronger only because it depends on how hard you inhale and how many puffs you're taking. So the pre-roll is 106 milligrams of CBD in the entire pre-roll, and the cartridges are zero point 0.5 mLs. There's 250 milligrams in the hypnotic, and there is 100 milligrams in the raspberry jane. So you're really comparing apples to oranges. So I would absolutely use the pre-roll if you want to get more milligrams per pull if you're looking for a stronger product. So that's a great question, but you're really comparing 2 different apples to oranges. It's a totally different concentration in the cartridges, and it's a totally different concentration when you try to compute a pull on the pre-roll versus a pull on a vape cartridge. So if you want something strong, go with the pre-roll. What work are you doing or have done in the veterans community? Well, we've done a lot of education with the veterans. We've done live presentations, and we've also done a lot of Zoom presentations for veterans. So if you're looking to do something with the veteran community, I would love to help you with that. I would love for you to contact the person who invited you, and we absolutely can do some more for our veterans. Great question. There are quite a few shops in our area. What determines black market? Well, the black market are products that you can't find ingredients. You can't find any certificates of analysis. You can't find much information on the source. Where does the product come from? Does it come from China? Does it come from Germany? Those products are not tested. You want to get products that are organically grown. So if you're having a problem trying to find out what the source is or where they come from, those are called black market products. A lot of the products that cause a lot of morbidity and mortality in those vape cartridges were black market products. When the FDA got their hands on those products, they found rat poison in them. They found um, fentanyl. They found vitamin E, which is a filler they use instead of using hemp seed oil or MCT coconut. They use as a filler or carrier oil vitamin E. When you heat vitamin E, it becomes very toxic to the lung, and we saw a lot of people that died from black market products. Great question. Is it okay for someone with respiratory problems to vape? I wouldn't. Personally, as a physician, I don't have any of my patients who have respiratory problems vape. I give those patients tinctures to place under their tongue and the gummies. I personally love using our CBD joints and cartridges for those patients who smoke nicotine, who smoke cigarettes and want to come off of cigarettes. I've been very successful in using our vapes and our CBD pre-roll in those. Someone who has respiratory problems that always already has some inflammatory process going on, I personally don't use vapes for them. Great questions tonight, guys. Let's see what's in the Q&A area. What work are you doing for veterans? Okay, I got that. It looked as though I was getting a bunion on my left foot. I used Dr. Rita's rub, and I promise it was like it was never there. Oh my God, Keisha, thank you for that. So she used that Dr. Rita's rub on her bunion, and bunions are painful. You know, bunions have an accumulation of inflammation. So we know that CBD is an anti inflammatory, it's an amazing analgesic. And so I'm glad that that worked for you. My father has severe arthritis pain in his hip. Would you recommend the pain rub liquid or pain cream? You know, that's a great question. Everybody responds differently to our different pain products. We have three pain products. We have one that's a cream, two that's a cream, and then we have one that's a liquid. What is the difference? Let's go through that real quick, Robin. The Dr. Rita's rub is 200 milligrams of CBD along with 19 to 20 USDA certified organic essential oils. So when you look at the formulation, the Dr. Rita's rub is most potent. It's got those essential oils that are working along with 200 milligrams of CBD. Then we have a Power Relief Cream that's 200 milligrams in a 15 ml jar. Then we have a Power Relief Cream that's 500 milligrams in a 60 ml jar. The 500 milligrams in the 60 ml jar is more diluted, right? It's a bigger jar, less concentrated. So I like using the 500 milligram in those folks who have mild inflammation and pain. I like to use the 200 milligram that uses 8 essential oils instead of the 6 essential oils in the 500 milligrams for those who have more moderate pain. Then I like using the Dr. Rita's rub for folks who have more severe pain. So we have something for mild, moderate, and severe. But again, everyone responds to CBD differently. It depends on your weight, it depends on your the way you metabolize it, it depends on the severity of your pain. So what I recommend is that for your father, you purchase the Dr. Rita's rub. And then next month you purchase the 200 milligram. Or maybe you purchase all three products at the same time and let him decide which one works best for his pain. They all three are amazing, but again, mild 500 milligram, moderate the 200 milligram cream, and severe the Dr. Rita's rub. That's how you can look at it based on the formulation and the products that are within that product. Dr. Rita, bipolar, how does it work? How long would you expect to see any signs? Really hard to say. You know, you can do your due diligence with bipolar disease. Bipolar disease is someone that has a deep depression, and sometimes they're manic, they're real high, they're real way up there. A lot of studies have been used and shown that it can be beneficial. Again, It depends on the medication that person's on currently with bipolar. It depends on the severity of their bipolar. It depends, are they more manic or are they more depressed, right? So all of these factors, but I still say start low and start slow. 3 drops in the morning, 3 drops in the evening, a gummy at night, a pre-roll or a vape during those times of acute mania, or they're real high, they're manic, or real low, depressed. Have something on hand for those acute times. Great sign. Great questions. Is CBD good for sciatic nerves in the toes? Absolutely. CBD has been shown to be a powerful analgesic and anti-inflammatory. A topical product would be great. I've never heard of sciatica in the toes. I've only heard of sciatica in the sciatic nerve that runs down the butt to the leg. But if somebody has sciatica nerves in their toes, I'm not up on that. But anyway, the inflammation that occurs in the toes can be from gout, it can be from neuropathy. Absolutely, you want to use all of the products. You know, when you talk about certain disease entities that are chronic, long-standing, severe, one product is probably not going to be enough. That's why I always recommend that you combine all of our products. You combine the tincture twice a day, you do the gummy at night, you do the topical. Now, this is something that I use on my knee because I tore my ACL, my MCL, my meniscus in 2009. I actually put on Dr. Rita's rub at night so that Dr. Rita's rub is working at night. When I wake up in the morning before I do my workout, I use Dr. Rita's rub so that I can perform at my best when I'm working out. So that knee doesn't hurt when I'm working out. So you want to make sure that when you have conditions that include nerve damage, inflammation of the nerve, muscular soreness or tenderness, you want to make sure you use that product at night so that it can be working while you're sleeping. Yes, the rub will help back pain, knee pain, hip pain, shoulder pain, foot pain, toe pain, hip pain, any pain. Amazing way to use our topical. Another what kind of product praise. My daughter suffers from back pain due to a car accident. Saturday, she put it on before she left my house, and it was gone by the time she got home. Awesome. So I am being called to labor and delivery. So I'm going to have to say goodnight to each and every one of you. I want to make sure that you tune in tomorrow if you want to obtain more information about our business. Also, we want you to join us for our 7/10 conference, which is going to be amazing. We're going to be announcing some new products, so you don't want to miss that. And I also want to invite you next Wednesday as we continue our month-long presentation and dialogue about the clinical endocannabinoid deficiency. Have an amazing night. Please contact the person that invited you on this call so that you can get your products ordered, you can get your questions answered, and have an amazing rest of your evening. Good night.